Hi, it's Linda with iCrafter. I'm here to share this faux watercolor technique using my Water Lily dimensional embossing folder. Let's get started. To make this faux watercolor card, we're going to start with the Water Lily dimensional embossing folder. You'd see the great detail on that. We're going to be using the iCrafter eye blender brushes, 3 shades of distress ink in tumbled glass, peeled paint, and worn lipstick, a small mister bottle, and watercolor paper. Let's get started. Because working with inks can get a little messy, I put down my craft sheet to work on. Picking up the dimensional embossing folder, you can see that there are 2 sides, as you know. There's a recessed side and a raised side. So we're going to work on the recessed side. Now this part, you really have to have kind of a light hand in doing this. You want to do the pink, and I'm using the eye brush. You want to lightly, very, very lightly, is to brush on a little bit of ink color. In this case, I'm doing it in the center of the water lilies. And not a lot. You can barely see that it's even on there. And I found that works best. And then I'm going to take the green, and I'm going to just go on where the lily pads are. Now this is a great thing about these eye brushes, is that you have so much control over where the ink will sit. Now you could do this lightly, you could do it a little heavier if you want. I think I put too much ink over there, so I just kind of want to make it a little lighter. Once we spritz it with water, the color will blend out a lot nice, a lot easier, I guess. So just kind of work it around a little bit. And then what you want to do at the last piece is take the tumbled glass and rub it onto the flatter areas. You just kind of want to go in towards the edge, but you don't want to go over where you've already inked color. Just up in that little area there. And now it gets a little harder when you get to this area, so you could lay it flat and rub it in there a little bit. So just make sure you get all those areas. Okay. Now what you want to do is, after you've colored that, is give it a good spritz. I'm going to close these and move these out of the way. I want to give it a good spritz. You want to lay your watercolor paper on top. And now we're going to go take it over to the die cutting machine. Now I'm using our new iCrafter iMotion die cutting machine. It's still a prototype, but this technique will work on any die cutting machine. You just need to adjust the sandwich going through for a 3D embossing folder type thing. So these are my platforms. This is the base. This is a thinner adapter A. It'll be prettier when we get through with the prototype stage, but I just wanted to show it. And I'm going to put the 3D folder in, and just one cutting plate. Okay, so we're going to run that through. And set that aside, and you can see when you open it up, you have a really soft watercolor look. I don't know if you could see that very well. Let me see, I'll bring it up closer. And the whole idea is to, if you look at water lilies, they have a very soft pink color on some. So I wanted to give it a look that looked like a soft, realistic water lily. And look at the detail in the lily pads. I love those veins. Okay, let's take it on to a card now. So to make this card, I have a piece of white cardstock folded down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I trimmed a piece of green cardstock to 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I just took 1/4 of an inch off of this size. And now the art piece I took down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches, which is another 1/4 of an inch off from this size. So they'll layer with a little bit of a matting around it. And now I'm just going to use adhesive and start layering all these. The thing too is when you add adhesive on the back of an embossed card or piece of paper, you don't want to push too hard and smash some of the detail that you're getting on the embossed parts. So you kind of roll it over gently. It'll still get the adhesive. And now you just center that. And now you could just add I'm going to put that on the front of the card. You want to get it centered. And again, you just want to gently press it down. You don't want to smash all of the dimensional work that you've done on it. So you can see how we've added just a gentle bit of color that now looks like a watercolor look. You can see the details there. And I'm just going to add a little sentiment, and then we're done. To finish off this card, I printed out a little sentiment, added some foam tape behind it to raise it up off the card. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please be sure to subscribe, and happy crafting!